9 times out of 10, when I hear about Funimation voice actors, it's because they're doing things that make them look like terrible people. They're running around accusing each other of being awful individuals with no evidence. They're trashing fans of their work or they're attacking critics, and yet another voice actor has decided to come out and say female characters in anime aren't good enough. They tend to end up in the background. They're the damsels in distress. They're overshadowed by male characters and accused anime lovers of being misogynists. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or supporting the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I found out about this situation through this Bounding into Comics article. It says Funimation voice actress Colleen Clinkenbeard wants to see change in the treatment of female characters in anime, claims they tend to end up in the background, which is an absurd comment. But it says veteran voice actor Colleen Clinkenbeard, known for her dub roles as Ancient Mai in Dragon Ball Super, One Piece, My Hero Academia, recently shared her hopes that treatment of female characters in anime and all genres improves, as she believes they tend to end up in the background, waiting to be rescued or fixed in some way. She voiced her thoughts on her perception of the anime medium's depictions of female characters during a recent interview with comicbook.com's Megan Peters, given in celebration of Women's History Month and published on March 30th. And you would think because she was doing this interview simply for Women's History Month, she would actually focus on good female characters in anime. She'd give some amazing examples of her favorite characters, maybe some of the characters she's played. She would want to shine a positive light on these characters, but instead, of course, she takes this as an opportunity to attack the industry. Asked by Peters if she thought that anime does a better job catering to the demographic of women than, say, television stateside, and if so, how, she asserted, "I think in more recent years, the studios creating anime have done a better job incorporating female voices in the shonen anime and allowing shoujo series to appeal to all viewers. That should be the direction we're aiming for," I think she added. "Not male anime and female anime, but anime with different flavors for every palette." And to this end, she noted that one thing I'd like to see change even more is the treatment of female characters in anime of all genres. Now, yes, even in manga and anime, there's content made for targeted audiences. You have shonen for boys, shoujo for girls, seinen for men and young adults, plus shozi for women and young adults. It is okay for companies to have targeted audiences, but it's also okay if you're outside of that target audience and you want to consume this product. Now, for example, there are people out there who like sci-fi and people who like fantasy. Should all sci-fi shows cater to everyone who likes fantasy? No. When you write a sci-fi, your target audience is sci-fi fans. Yes, you want to put elements in there that could draw in casual fans of a genre, but it's okay to target specific groups of people. What's happened in the culture war is that companies like Marvel and DC and Disney are trying to take genres and put in certain elements that appeal to audiences that were never the target audiences for what they create, and when it does bad, they say, "How could this fail?" They're targeting people who don't want to consume their products, like with comic books. They're writing comic books for people who aren't interested in them, hoping they'll start buying these products, but they don't. Female characters are too often driven by their desire to appeal to men or support men, and too infrequently by their own motives and storylines, she accused. They also tend to end up in the background, waiting to be rescued or fixed in some way, which is absolutely absurd. You'd think someone who's been in the industry for so long and someone who's voiced such great female characters would have a little knowledge on the character she's trashing here. I'll list just a few, but Akame from Akame ga Kill, Merlin from Seven Deadly Sins, Revi, Tatsumaki. While yes, they might have minor flaws, they're not damsels in distress, and I could go on and on about characters that completely ruin this narrative she's trying to push. While yes, sometimes the females do end up being the damsels in distress, people like that sort of entertainment. It's really not that big of a deal. Just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. She also continued, I'd like to see more strength in the female characters we see in anime so both girls and boys watching anime as they grow up can find things to admire in those characters rather than looking to the male leads for inspiration. Again, I listed off several very strong, well-written female characters, but she offers absolutely no examples. However, turning to anime fans themselves, she accused, it's been a whole lot less hearted in the fandom, unfortunately. There are some holdouts in the anime fandom community who would like to keep anime a male-dominated genre made by and for men. By saying that the target demographic is gatekeeping is inferring that people that are part of that demographic are blocking people outside of it from possibly enjoying it is bullshit. That is made up, and she, of course, has provided no evidence and will never, because those claims aren't real. And of course, she is being roasted on social media over these comments. I wanted to read just a few of the comments made on this Bounding Into Comics tweet thread. People are saying things like, you'd think someone who's voiced in anime for over a decade would know something about anime. Look back just in the last couple of years. Seriously, go to the 80s anime. There were tons of female leads, and not just ecchi or hentai ones. Bubblegum Crisis, Macross Hell, even the girls kick just as much butt as guys. In some of these series, they need a new gripe. 0 days since Western voice actors saying anime needs to be changed. Absolutely none. Big zero. And that is a giant problem that I have with a lot of Western voice actors. I'm not saying all of them. There are some genuinely amazing people out there, do not get me wrong, but a lot of the ones that go on social media and get to do these interviews complain about the industry, saying it's terrible, it's awful. The fans of this industry are awful. If you hate the industry so much, why are you part of it? Give someone else your space, because there are plenty of people out there who would love to be part of this industry. I wish I saw threads like this, and I was surprised that there are voice actors saying absolutely absurd things, but I'm not. Another Funimation voice actor has come forward, has done this interview, and instead of hyping up their industry and the work they do, they're just trashing it, saying, our industry is bad. People in it need to do better, and the way that these characters are portrayed is awful. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.